Hi, and welcome back to the Wicked Thrifter Resale channel. We're back at our favorite Goodwills looking for some items that we can buy to flip on eBay for a profit. This first find was a lamp that I ended up leaving behind. The price was $30, so it was a little bit too high for me to justify purchasing for resale. They've put out a lot of spring decor, so it was nice seeing a change. I liked this creamer and sugar set. I don't pick up a lot of creamer and sugar sets. They don't sell very well for me. This little cobalt blue pottery owl was nice, but it had a personalization on the back, which I didn't know. I think it was in German, but I wasn't sure. I ended up leaving that behind. The majority of the items in this section are clear glass, but I've found a couple of glassy babies at this location, so I'm always scouring it, taking a good long time to view each shelf just to make sure one isn't hiding in the back. This was a nice little glass. I was trying to read that, but I wasn't picking up very well. They only had one on the shelf. I'm not into picking up single pieces. I'd prefer to pick up at least a pair. I liked these until I noticed the etched grape design. That's very singular. A lot of people are not picking up the grape pattern or style of items right now, so I tend to not pick them up because they sit for a long time. Originally thought this was art pottery, but it was not, so I ended up leaving that. That was a spongeware mug. I apologize for how zoomed in the camera is. I'm still getting used to this new camera that I have. The focus is a bit off too, but I promise I'll get better at how to use it. And this is the wood section. Just scanning to see if there's any interesting shelves or signs or wood pieces. And here we're in the figurine section. I spotted this blue sky 15 birthday cake tea light. However, they wanted $12.99 for it, and at that price point there's not a lot of room for profit, so I chose to leave it behind. I was a little bummed because I liked finding these newer pieces. It still had the tag and it was in perfect condition. There was no damage, but that'll be a nice find for somebody. Those are like paper birds. A little chick planter. And I believe this is like a zodiac or Mayan calendar of sorts. I wasn't 100% certain. I was looking up some similar pieces and they didn't sell for a ton, so I ended up leaving that behind. That art pottery vase in the back had a big chip in it, so that's why I didn't look at that. I saw it a couple of videos ago, I believe, or at least a couple weeks ago. It all blurs together. And here I'm just scoping out the vases. They didn't have a ton. And then I checked out one of these vases down here. Thought it was just a mass-produced piece, so I ended up putting that back. I thought this was a fun fish bowl or dish. And it's a lighthouse ceramic lamp. I do grab this. It's an open mouth fish vase. There was no markings indicating who had made it, but they still sell for a decent amount of money, and I thought it was unique enough to try to pick it up and see what I could do. It's not going to sell for a ton, probably $25 to $32 in that range. From here, I'm just checking out the end cap to see if there's anything fun. They had a candle holder there. Another candle or pillar candle holder. This fun metal pig. And then I'm trying to check out this mosaic cat in the back. But it probably is just some yard art or decor. And it had some damage on the ear and the side there. And these were some like paper mache fish that you could put in your bathroom wall or for decor pieces. But they wanted $2.99 a piece. That would have been a score had they put it in a baggie for like $4.99. But at $2.99 a piece, I didn't want to take a chance. This was really interesting and a fun find. It's $14.99. I do pick this up and I end up putting it in the cart. Hand-carved wood pieces always do fairly well for me. I believe this is Mother Mary. I'm not 100% certain who the maker is on that, but it definitely is handmade. I don't know if it's olive wood, but it's on like a driftwood or burl wood piece. And this is another wood section at a different store that I'm in. I liked this Lazy Susan. It had a divided top to it, and it was, is that monkey pod wood? I'm not 100% certain. You can read it. Mahogany ink. I ended up putting that back. This was a fun wood fish. Had there been more, I probably would have grabbed them. There's some remnants of Easter. This Winnie the Pooh had a broken nose. Brass skeleton key. And here I'm just waiting. I was waiting for the aisle to clear a little bit, so I thought I'd just dig a little further and see what else I could find. And this was a little fairy light. It had some transferware on it. But these I don't think fetch a ton of money for. I do pick this up. I don't know if it'll sell. Maybe I'll take it for myself. I do have it listed. I think it'll sell between $12 and $16. I have it listed at $19.97. I think I'll have to reduce that price after reviewing it through this video. I don't think that it'll get that much for it. This piece had me fooled. I thought it was wood. And like I said before, wood pieces sell fairly well for me. And I would have grabbed this had it been wood, but the more I looked at it, there was like a chip on it and it was white. So I think it was composite or made to look like wood. This is a little Italian brass bell. They take a while to sell and they wanted $4.99 for that baggie. I didn't think it would be worth picking up. A little carved wood shoe. They wanted $2.99. I thought that was glass, but it was actually plastic. And here's an art glass angel. Unfortunately, the wing there was chipped. And there's some insulators down there, but I don't know what those are. But this was a really cute find. This is definitely mid-century. It's a rope monkey. And they wanted $4.99 for it. So I scooped those up. They're handmade. I have it listed as a set. I think I'll get about $34 to $44 for them. Some can get a pretty decent amount for. I just have to look them up and see. A vintage swan planter. I don't pick up animal planters very often. They have to be fairly unique. In this store, it looked like someone had donated their swan collection. This was $4.99. Swans and those glass birds you come across, the candy dishes or ashtrays, don't sell fairly well for me. So very well for me. So I choose not to pick them up. If they're a unique color or very high quality, I'll take a look at it and maybe look them up before writing it off. But I don't generally pick those up. They don't sell. I scooped this up though at $3.99. It's an art pottery trinket dish, and on the inside it has that like crackled glass look in a cobalt blue, which I thought was really pretty. It is signed on the bottom, as you saw, and I think I could get about $28 to $34 for it. And they had part of a nativity scene down there at the bottom. Some precious moments. This little bud vase, another swan. Thought this was interesting. I had never seen this before. Some sort of ashtray at $4.99. But I'm careful at what pieces I pick up, especially that are in that genre. This was an art glass bowl, fairly large. Initially I thought it might have been Blanco, but it's by Dynasty Glass. And then I see some of those Boyd's Bears. I think that's Boyd's Bears or Cherished Teddies. I'm not sure. And this little casket music box with the swan on it, obviously from the same collector. It was $4.99. I would have picked it up probably if it hadn't had the etched swan on it. Maybe. It depends. This was huge and heavy, but it had some damage. It was a chalkware piece. Looked like a hobbyist piece. The shelves are pretty sparse. And here was a fun TV lamp or planter. I think it's a TV lamp, right? Obviously it's a lamp. Definitely mid-century vibes, but I looked up comps and the current ones weren't selling for a ton. I love these chairs. Somebody would have got a decent deal on those. These were $2.99 a piece, and I was tempted to get them because they're definitely vintage. I ended up putting them back. I kind of regret doing that. But I did pick this up. It's a George Briard. I don't know how to say that, so don't get mad at me. But a butterfly pattern serving bowl, a chip bowl. And it was missing the dip part, but it was $8.99. And the gold on there was really decent, so not a lot of damage. I chose to take it with. These were fun. I like the show. They wanted $8.99 for a whole set, and it was new still attached to the shelf, and I thought I couldn't go wrong with that. They don't actually sell for a ton. There's quite a few out there, so we'll see. I end up putting this M back. I like the filigree on it, but it's definitely more modern. It wasn't vintage like I initially thought. And they wanted $6.99, and I don't suspect that I could get more than $12 to $18 for it if I had picked it up. So it wouldn't have been worth it. I picked up this fun figurine. Definitely hand painted. For $6.99, and they sell for a decent amount of money, so expect to get about $50 to $69 for that piece. Now this hand-blown glass bowl, I liked the color, the cloudy white. Don't see solid colors very often unless they're clear. I chose to leave it behind. There was no signature or anything on it, and it was kind of plain. It would have to be pretty specific for someone to want just a white bowl. These were fun. I grabbed these. They always do well for me. Now this is a perfume I got for $1.99. I'm waiting to find the pump part, the atomizer, I think is what you call it. Probably saying that wrong. To see if I can repair it and sell it complete. But if not, I'll sell it the way it is. I did pick this up and they only wanted a few dollars for it, and it'll sell about $29.97. A short while ago they would have sold for a little bit more, but for what they are, I'll scoop these up every time I see them if they're a decent price. It was only $2.99 for this one, and I believe the other one was $3.99. There's some art pottery mug there, but it's pretty plain, so I chose not to look at that. I thought this might have been horsehair pottery, but it was not. I take this with me. They only wanted $4.99 for it, and it's a fun art pottery piece. Sarah Post is the maker, and it's signed on the bottom. Should get about $30 to $39 for that. And some green vintage glass there. There was some more pottery by the same maker, but I chose to be selective. I have a lot of art pottery at home right now. And this was someone had donated, and most likely was a buyout from some store, maybe Dollar Tree or something like that. But these were cast iron bells, and there was a lot of them. And a lot of them were missing the clapper that's inside the bell. I ended up leaving them. Initially, I put them all in my cart because cast iron items tend to do fairly well, especially yard art, door stops, door knockers. Those all do fairly well for me. This Santa one I initially put in, even though it had the clapper, I ended up putting it back just because it didn't seem to sell for a high amount. They wanted $8.99 for it, and there was something off with the face, the painting on the face. This one was an elephant. They had a couple bear ones, an anchor. The one I choose to take with is this one, and it's the chicken or a rooster. They do have the brand on there. It's by Upper Deck. I don't know. I didn't do enough research on it, but these can sell for anywhere from $20 to $30. The more elaborate and the better quality ones can go for a lot more. Sorry for the squeaky cart. And here they had another bear one I initially put in the cart. Like I said, I end up putting most of those bells back. I only take the chicken one with. I had a moose welcome sign and a couple more bells. I wanted to check out this pottery because it looked like it had aged from afar. And this was a stone piece, and they wanted $19.99 for that. Those generally do not sell for me. If they do, they take a long time. And this is a folk art mask, or I had two of them. I don't know. I should have looked into those at the time, but I wasn't sure that that style with the painting of the eyes sold for, anything reasonable. Ceramic fruit plaque. Another cat cookie jar and some other figurines. Didn't find much at this location. Now I'm at another location. This is the one that usually prices everything up extremely high. I think after seeing that rooster price, the rooster chicken lamp, I was a little shocked. I liked these, and I actually kind of forgot about them, and they weren't priced terribly high. I probably should have grabbed these because they ranged in price from like $4.99 to $14.99 depending on the size. They're signed by the artist and there was no damage. Now I wish I would have grabbed them. Canisters do fairly well in pairs. I don't usually sell a complete set because of the shipping costs tend to hinder people from wanting to spend that much money on it unless it's a very sought after canister set. Camera work is lacking in this video. I apologize. This fooled me. I thought it was going to be a glassy baby, but it was not. It was a lucite piece, but it kind of gave me like bathroom fixture vibes, so I wasn't going to take that with me. And here's their figurine section and collectibles. Not a whole ton to look at that I was interested in. And they had a candle section. This I thought was, it's not the brand that I'm used to, but this had the little angels on it. I ended up leaving that behind. There's one brand, and I apologize that I don't know it off the top of my head, that does fairly well. So look those up when you do see them. Some frog wood stools. And I think that's going to wrap it up for us today. This is going to be your recap. Thanks for taking the time to watch the video. And if you have any questions, just drop them below. Otherwise, please like or subscribe. Have a great week, and I'll see you in the next video.